Hello, everybody. Scott Golden with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We continue into the balance of things, such as signs of being an introvert. And so, if you are dealing with emotional challenges in getting to know other people, the balance of energy as it relates to connecting with others, would love to be of assistance to you in that way. Continue to develop things that can lead you in a positive direction that way. And things like self esteem. Self esteem is a huge factor in that. And if you are dealing with self esteem challenges from being introverted, would love to be of assistance, please feel free to reach out at PO Perception on Twitter or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Either one will get you in touch with me or a member of my team. We can make something happen from there. Self esteem is a big issue for introverts because they don't necessarily want to connect in a very outgoing or direct sort of way. Doesn't mean they don't crave social connectivity. And so the self-esteem of not being understood, the self-esteem of choosing to pick spaces that are less crowded, choosing to pick spaces that are, more solitary and more open without being confined, but at the same time creating senses of security, sometimes doing the same thing repeatedly on an emotional level, or asking the same questions, or hanging back in social situations. All of these are signs of introversion that ultimately can be super challenging in a number of ways, and ultimately it doesn't always lead to ease and comfort when we connect on a deeper level, in order to kind of make those things come together. Uh, because a lot of times people are struggling to find a place to belong, and introverts tend to have smaller social groups, be perhaps more harshly judged than other people. An extrovert's going to be like, oh, they'll bounce back. An introvert might be considered into kind of what's wrong with this person, or why are they struggling? Why don't they understand how to handle social situations at a better level, at a different level, in a way that is more acceptable, or whatever the case may be. And so there's a lot of struggle in relation to um, managing to deal with this in a deeper way, and ultimately getting to a place of deeper understanding that makes it possible for everyone to be able to do that is super important as well. Picking spots of where to be, and how to feel that one belongs is also important. Otherwise, when a person who is introverted struggles with where they belong, social anxiety can be a major force and stressor in developing deeper or more meaningful connections, and or making decisions that are less driven by feeling forced to do something, whereas a person who has clear, concise, and comfortable communication styles is going to feel more comfortable also in opening slowly to new people, opening slowly to new ideas, expressing themselves in a more measured and drawn out level. A person with that social anxiety coming from introversion probably is going to second guess everything they say, second guess a lot of the things they do, not because they're not a confident person, but because the idea that they could be judged or condemned in a negative fashion is going to be on their mind almost in every situation, and thus ultimately that leads to challenges there. Next thing, in looking at that, is that every person obviously does react differently. Every person, in fact, does react in a more measured manner, and that can be problematic too in learning how to connect with people in a way that works for you, and knowing how to do that in a consistent way. Because inconsistency is another problem for people that deal with introversion, because they may have courage one day and kind of fall back the next. Anyway, would continue to feel connected. Hope that you do too. Feel free to reach out at PO Perception or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.